In the NFL, what's the old saying? You're either humble or about to be humbled. Now, I think the Bills can play very well against this Dolphins team, but I think you do have to respect what they could bring to the table. I don't know if they're going to bring that to the table, but you have to at least respect that there are players that could make a huge impact if you don't respect that.
Yeah.
You guys have talked a lot about the names and the players. It's my new favorite saying. We're going to make a t-shirt. The Dolphins are more name than game, and they have no chance in this game.
Now, from the Connors and Ferris podcast studio, this is the Buffalo Plus podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus podcast. We're here in the Connors and Ferris podcast studio. All three of us back from Mike Catalana and Dan Fates. I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. This week, we're going to talk Bills, Dolphins, Josh Allen. How is his nose doing? The Dolphins, where are they at? As well as our predictions for this game. Credit to me, a little bit different, maybe breaking some news there. And Mike is going to take a cheap shot, hot shot, whatever you want to call it, at the Chiefs. So I think you will also enjoy that. So let's get into this one. First of all, Dan, welcome to the studio.
This place is sweet. This is sweet. Shout out Connors and Ferris.
Yeah.
Greg Connors, OG sponsor.
Yes.
And we now have this beautiful studio.
Yeah.
And I like it because, well, I get my own chair.
The throne.
Yes. And I get to look
Yeah.
I get to look right at you two while we're
That's
talking.
terrifying.
So I can just talk and talk and talk.
Yes.
I believe, and I'm working on this. I believe this setup will cut down on my interruptions of Jenna.
Zero chance. Zero chance that cuts down on it.
I'm hopeful because you're going to be looking literally right at me, but I'm also realistic enough to know that when you get like excited about a point, you'll probably be like, ah, ah, ah. So there's that.
How's it go?
That's what Mike did.
I'm
Good
trying.
job. Good job.
I'm trying. I'm
job.
really going to try.
Yeah.
And I feel much more comfortably no headphones unless we have a guest.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
And
This
my
is
hair
just a
looks
sweet
good,
setup.
so I'm ready to go.
I have to be good about picking shoes.
Yeah.
That's my struggle because I have some old shoes that
That is
I'm
for
not
sure.
going to be able to be
Yes.
wearing.
That is for sure.
Yeah, so that's something that we're going to think about. But okay, let's talk about this Bills-Dolphins matchup. Obviously coming off another win over the Jets, a big win down at MetLife. They're back home, short week. This is a Dolphins team coming in like that. Obviously looks like they have some issues and maybe some massive ones, but this team for the Bills, like it's a short week and that can affect how you prepare for a game. But where do you think the Bills are at? And is it too early to be like, could this be a trap spot, a letdown game? Like, is it too early for that?
Last week we talked about them coming back,
Yeah.
right? And after that emotional win, even though they would say like defensively they didn't play well and all those things, and I said they have veterans on this team. They have guys who've been through it and they handled their business absolutely against the Jets. Now this week you've got the Dolphins. Short week. In a lot of cases and I do think they would worry about this. It's a desperate team. They're 0-2. They're a mess. I just do not feel it from the Dolphins at all. I think they are a mess, and they know they're a mess, and they have internal and external problems. They have, quote, talent.
How was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
No.
Yeah, because they have talent. You could sit there and say they've got some dudes. That one works.
I
Guys,
think
that would work.
You're shoehorning it.
Yeah,
you got to
yeah.
stop. I
No,
don't think you're
I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it.
So for the Bills, yes, it is a short week.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't believe there's any issue. And coming back home, Thursday night football, crowd's going to be fired up. And Dan, it's Josh against the Dolphins.
Yeah. Somebody was asking me earlier this week. I was doing radio for a local station around here, and they were like, hey, Dan, like any Sunday, anybody, and I interrupted him and I said, no. I was like, I've never been more confident between how I think the Bills can play, being at home, and how bad the Dolphins are. I just don't see any world where this is a close game. I'm just, trap spot, all these things. I think the Dolphins have trapped themselves in just a bad team, in a bad environment. And they have, I thought they were on quit watch last week. They at least scored some points. They got help with a kickoff return, punt return touchdown.
Oh, hold on. They got the return and then immediately gave up a touchdown on the next return.
So I was on somebody else pointed this out. Like, you want to talk about the dysfunction. And I like Mike McDaniel. I have been always that guy that said, hey, I like that. Yeah, he's quirky. He's weird. He's, nerd boy, as Rex Ryan called him. But he was himself. And I've always respected that if you're a coach or a player and you are who you are. He didn't try and be Belichick. He didn't change who he was. He's strange. He's a strange bird, and I respect that. But after Achane got called out, they thought he scored the touchdown like with a minute to go. They then reviewed it. It went to a commercial break. They had all of this time. They then had a delay of game penalty after all of that. Then they had 12 guys in the huddle. Then they were snapping the ball right. Like, that's how dysfunctional, like, they are lost as a football team from the straight mechanics of how to do the little things. That's where they're so bad right now that I just can't see the Bills by any way losing this game.
I'm going to push back against your Mike McDaniel, and I think he's really authentic. I think that he is authentic in a sense, but I also think that he tried to be friends with the players too much. He tried to be the parent that's friends with the child, and there was times where you needed to have that accountability for this team. Culture is such a huge part about winning. You're right. They have a lot of talent. They have a lot of names on that roster, but because there's been no accountability throughout some of this process, I think that has led to the point where now there's just the ability to be like, I'm going to quit on this team because there hasn't been that I'm going to hold you to this standard that I want, because Mike McDaniel, in my opinion, while he is, I wish it was colder and all this stuff, I think he just hasn't set that precedent of like, no, this is my standard, not yours.
Well, it's the Dorsey. It's the friend and not your boss. Like he was, when you're the OC in San Fran, you don't really have the pressure. It's Shanahan, all that stuff. And it was fine. But then now all of a sudden, when you're in charge of the household, you're the babysitter turning into the parent. Now, like, hey, the babysitter's here. We can stay up late. We can watch movies. We can eat junk food. And then when you have to be the parent, it's like, no, you're not doing these things. So I agree with your point. It's almost like the shoe didn't fit. Like, he didn't fit the role, is what I always kind of thought about with Dorsey. He went from Josh's buddy to now Josh's boss. That didn't work. So there are some people that are just better coordinators than head coaches.
Yeah.
That may be Mike McDaniel.
I just think too, when you're in Miami, there's just so much distraction anyways. There's beautiful beaches and beautiful things to do. There's so much going on that you have. Yeah, there's so much.
You said two things that were beautiful, and both times I thought you were going to say women.
I didn't want to. Yes, there's beautiful one. I was alluding to that.
Yes.
God, allude.
They're beautiful things.
Yeah.
There's beautiful things.
Yes.
Beaches.
But there's a lot of distraction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of distraction out there. And so beautiful food. No, a lot of distraction. So I think that's where the accountability factor, you need to have, like I talked about, that discipline. And I think you're seeing the results of there not being an adult in the room. And I get it. When you're a coordinator, it's so easy to be like the friend. It's so easy to be like, oh, I can't believe coach did that.
Yes.
But when you're the head coach and you're the one that's dictating how teams react and how people are going to follow you, you have to be better about that. So I'm not shocked by this with Mike McDaniel in terms of this team, because I think it's hard to build a culture in an area like that where there is so much going on. But I also think this is you made your bed, now you have to lie in it situation.
I'm so proud of myself. I just watched you two.
Yeah, wait.
I was going to keep talking, and I knew Mike was going to have an aneurysm.
I was fine. Again, I like the setup here, and I was enjoying, and I think you guys are right. I talked to Will Manso. He's fantastic.
Great interview.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of guests, Buffalo Plus, and he's very honest about what goes on in Miami. And he's been saying to me for years, fans will react and go, same old Dolphins, same old Dolphins. But it's been different. And he if you watch the video, he's great talking about that franchise. In the past, it's been, boy, they've been really good, and then they fail in a big moment. They had their chances, and they fail. He talked about the dysfunction between the best player, who is Tyreek Hill, the quarterback, Tua, and the head coach, Mike McDaniel. And he's like, you give Tyreek credit for this. He's saying all the right things because, as he would say, as Will said, like, I think he wants to be good so he can get out. He's got one foot out the door.
Yeah.
You've got McDaniel, who knows he's going to get fired. And I don't believe coaches think, oh, I can't wait to get fired. I think he wants to be fired. I think it's better for his long-term career to get away from this thing now. And that might happen if they lose and it's a not close game.
Yeah.
It might happen after Thursday night because then they have a little extra time. They can go to the defensive coordinator and say they made this move and then see what happens. And then for Tua, it's like Tua has been okay. It's only 2 games, but they put the ball in his hands at the end of the game. He's the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's been with Mike McDaniel. And to Dan's point, they look so disorganized.
Yeah.
But I have seen, I'm going to make fun of the Chiefs later, but the Chiefs are going to get fired up now. They're 0-2. They're embarrassed to be 0-2. They are a championship DNA team that will come back, and they got the Giants. They'll probably get themselves at least right to a point. I don't see this at all with that Dolphins team. They're all over the map. And to Jenna's point about the distractions and all those things, I think that's true in a lot of places. It's true in New York City, but they're bad because they got two bad teams.
Yeah.
When you have good players, Jordan Poyer certainly found that out when he went down there.
Yeah.
That culture is bad. And at the end of last year, McDaniel was like, I tried finding the players. I tried doing this. How absurd is that?
Yeah.
And that you can't get their attention.
But that's
way.
where I push back a little bit on Jenna, where you're like, I obviously saw this coming. We're talking about less than 2 years ago. They had a chance to win the division and be the 2 seed. Like, it was working with McDaniel and Tua. Like, I don't know the exact moment things crumbled. Last year, they were decimated by injuries on defense. Like, they had their Javon Holland and
Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. Like, those guys got injured, and I thought they were a good team that just got snake bitten. And it was the thought of last year, it was like, oh, do you just blow it up now? And I remember saying, like, during the offseason, like, run it back. Like, get these guys healthy. You're not that bad of a team. Run it back. And whether it was Tyreek saying he doesn't want to be there and going on all those podcasts and then being like, oh, yeah, I'm here, and saying, like, calling out coaches, like, all that stuff, that's where it's like, this was working. Like, the McDaniel thing was working. And it's easy when you're all kumbaya when things are going well. And that's where it's like Sean McDermott, hasn't had a 3-game losing streak since his first year. Like, he knows the good coaches, when things are bad and the boat's rocking and you're in stormy waters, you can level it.
Yeah.
And that's where it is. That's the thing with me with McDaniels. I went back and I instantly thought of it. McDaniel has these funny press conferences and all this stuff, and he gives these long intrinsic answers, and you're kind of like, what is he talking about? And then this year at the end of training camp, he's like, it's a great day because we're one day closer to death. And you're like, oh, all right. And he goes from,
oh man.
And he goes from that too, is I remember Rex, and it reminded me of Rex.
Oh, Rex.
Because I remember Rex would show up to these press conferences, big, boisterous. He was prank calling Julian Edelman as Walt Patulski. He was wearing a Clemson helmet. And after that game against Miami, which was funny enough, the last time the Dolphins beat the Bills was on Christmas Eve when Rex punted in overtime
in Orchard Park.
Yeah.
In Orchard Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last time they beat him.
Yeah. Sorry, that's it. And the following day after, so that was Christmas Eve. They were off Christmas Day. Rex had a press conference, and he looked like a shell of himself. No hat, hair disheveled. He was fired 3 days later.
Mm-hmm.
But it was one of those things where I look at Mike McDaniel now, and his press conferences are just like, yeah, we have to learn not to lose. That's important. You're like, this isn't the same guy. Like, he's been beaten down. Like, Mike, to your point, like, it probably is better for him to get fired, go be an OC, and kind of rehabilitate his image.
Yeah.
But that's the image that I have of, like, holy cow, this was Rex to Rex at the end. Like, it was before that Miami game. He had said, they're going to have to drag me out of here kicking and screaming. And then after that game, he just looked like, I'm done. I don't want to be here. No kicking, no screaming, just
getting my truck and
just driving
home.
his billboard out of here.
Well, I think that you've always been very high on Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
Like, I think that you've been higher on him than maybe Mike and Dan, or maybe me and Mike have been. I do think for me, the turning point was, and look, I thought they have a ton of dudes. They have players that are scary on paper. I think for me, watching them on the Hard Knocks in season in 2023 was when I was like, I don't think this guy can command a room in the way
Fair.
that I've seen other coaches do. And because of that, I just felt like he's just seemed, and maybe this is me, and maybe I read this totally wrong, but it just seemed a bit like tough guy, like TG alert we used to say in college, like, oh, tough guy alert over here. But it felt like that to me, where I was like, it felt like he was putting on the persona of like, "Rawr."
Brian Flores.
Yes.
That's who was there before.
Mhm.
Brian Flores reminds me of Greg Williams in a sense of coming in and I'm going to show you I'm the boss.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit. Now, I think Brian Flores is a tough guy. And I think Greg Williams was a tough guy. But they tried to present that as that's who I am. And they were, how do I phrase this? Kind of mean to Tua. Like they
were, yeah.
when they should have been
Kind of?
embracing Tua.
Kind of mean?
Yeah. And
I think it's documented.
A
Very
guy
mean.
like Brian Flores now it won't happen, would be a good choice for them because now I think he's found out what it's like.
It's the pendulum swing.
And then you come back a little differently.
Doug Marrone to Rex Ryan.
Well,
to Sean McDermott. Yeah.
Right. But I'm not saying they're going to hire Brian Flores. I'm saying is
They're not.
somebody who is going to come in. Yeah, because I think he sued them, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's not.
But I think you're going to get somebody that's going to come in, clear the decks a little bit. Tyreek's got to be gone.
Yep.
All those things. Now I'm saying all this. Jenna, you said it. They do have some dudes on that team.
They do.
Doesn't matter.
Achane, I know. But when you get in this game, this is a better offense than what the Bills just saw with the Jets. And it is a team that, when given the opportunity, it is a much more prolific group than what you just saw with the Jets. My only point is, if you let them get going, even though it may not be long-term, I mean, Achane can make plays. Tyreek can make plays. Waddle can make plays. You got to get Tua off your first look. I'm going to pick later and pick the Bills to win this handily, but I'm saying is this is not a poor group of talent on the Dolphins offensively. They've got some guys that can make plays. I just think they're a mess in the way they're coordinated. So the Bills are still going to need to play well.
They're a well-assembled team, but not a
coordinated team.
Yes. Yeah.
But
I know, Mike, I know what you're saying.
This
because
is when the team is like, yeah, they got some really good guys over there. And you're like,
this is
but they do have good players. It's just that, like you said, the scheme and the coordination has been the challenge for them. Because look, the Bills have, Josh Allen has dominated the Dolphins throughout his time in Buffalo. But when you look at it and you peel it back, you say, okay, yeah, they do have Tyreek Hill. Now, do you think Tyreek Hill, though, is just Tyreek Hill in name, or do you think there is still that Tyreek Hill X factor?
Well, we're going to see it when he's on the Chiefs, because that's going to happen.
So gross.
It's going to happen. I'm saying is if I am Christian Benford or I'm Trey White or Dorian Strong, and I'm looking at tape, I'm going, that's Tyreek Hill. Like, that's the guy I'm dealing with. I'm telling you, they look and say, this team has ability. Go ahead.
I would like to say something before Dan says something. Now, in the NFL, what's the old saying? You're either humble or about to be humbled. Now, I think the Bills can play very well against this Dolphins team, but I think you do have to respect what they could bring to the table. I don't know if they're going to bring that to the table, but you have to at least respect that there are players that could make a huge impact if you don't respect that.
Yeah.
You guys have talked a lot about the names and the players. It's my new favorite saying. We're going to make a t-shirt. The Dolphins are more name than game, and they have no chance in this game.
He's so proud of that.
Yeah, you could tell he was like, I like paused and owned that. But I hear and I agree with that.
Like, it's name. Okay.
I agree.
The Steelers defense, more name than game. Travis Kelce at this point in his career, more name than game. Like, this is just a bad football team. I don't care what the nameplates say on the back. It's a bad football team.
I think your overall point is correct, but I think it's lacking the nuance to say that you still have
There's no nuance.
See, this is where we just don't agree, because Dan's like, everything is exactly how it seems. And I'm like, there is layers to this shit.
I told you the one time I was, the Bills blew out somebody. And after the game, I remember Mitch Morris talking to the defensive tackle. And that game for Mitch, I think, was miserable. And I'm trying to remember, I think it might have been the Browns. The D tackle was just beating him up. And he's like, dude, I'm listening to him. He's like, dude, you handled me all day. Like, this is never.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, in Mitch Morris's world, they won the game by 27 points. His individual battle was that way. And I do believe the players think that way. This is why the Bills are good, too. They do respect their teammates. You ask them, it's not lip service to say Tua's going to, or Tyreek's going to run by you if you're not in the right spot. You're not catching up with him.
He hasn't done it in a year.
He hasn't done it. But if you watch that game, he got open. He made some plays. They missed him on some other plays. He's still Tyreek Hill.
I can't believe,
how about this? But Dan, I totally get what you're saying. Like, I expect the Bills to dominate this game, handle them like with ease.
So
like,
why
toss
are we talking
them to the
like
side.
You never know? Like, I think we know.
No, I'm saying though, you still have to prepare. If you're the Bills, like, hey, I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a lack of preparation. The things I'm saying are not the things that Sean McDermott is telling his players.
Okay.
This is, I understand that. I'm sitting here talking as a podcaster at Buffalo Plus. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and being like, this is like, this isn't, you can look at the all 22, like all these things, they're just not a good team and they're not playing well. And I don't think they have any fight. I think if they had fight, they would have shown it last week at home. Again, they got embarrassed. Oh, you were so close, Mike. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. Like, I think that would have been, if they're a real playoff team, they bounce back in week 2 in a desperate spot. Now on a short week, I think they're just licking their wounds. Michael, the podcast, Connors and Ferris podcast, Buffalo Plus Studio is yours.
I agree with you, Dan.
I agree with you too, Dan.
The Dolphins are the kind of team that don't give them down 14-3 in the first quarter. And they think like, well, we might as well do 100%. Something right. And then all of a sudden they're feeling good. I think if you punch them in the mouth in this game, they'll be done. But, you let them do anything. They're still only 0-2. I always say to you, bad teams don't know they're bad yet. I do believe this team thinks they're bad.
I think they know they're bad.
Yes, but it's a primetime game. You go out there and all of a sudden the Bills aren't ready to go for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what? Like the Cardinals in week 1 last year, where you're like, what the heck is going on? The Patriots game at home. Mac Jones. Let's see. Drake May. No, Scott, weren't they down 14-0 to the Patriots at home?
Yeah.
They went down twice.
We were just talking about that. Terry had a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
And so you're like,
Josh played bad.
Don't give him anything in this game.
Agreed. Don't give him anything.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think there's a lot of names.
Like, I feel like we're like talking to like Dolphins fans being like, they're a good team. Like, no, they're not a good team. We're like, I'm just trying to be like honest in my evaluation of, we're sitting here like giving them their flowers, and I don't think they deserve any flowers.
Yeah. Do to them what you did to the Jets last week. A team that had a little bit of hope. Now they're different because they're making their change already. But.
Exactly. Like, we're sitting here like, I was sitting there like Saturday night going, Jets could win this game because they could run the ball, and there is a different vibe and feel and quarterback around the Jets. I don't think the Dolphins have any of that. So I think that they have zero chance. Like, I've never, like, again, could it be a 10-point game? Could they score a late touchdown? Could it be a little bit uncomfortable at times? Sure. That's the NFL. I just don't think there's any world where the Dolphins come into Orchard Park on a Thursday night in prime time that they get a win.
I hear you, and I agree with you. And I also think that the NFL is freaking weird, man.
Yeah.
It's freaking weird.
Yep.
Because stuff can happen that you are just not expecting.
And the Bills have avoided that. And main thing is, and Dan, you talked about it. We talked about it a little bit this week. The Bills don't give teams really anything. They don't turn the ball over. That's the biggest thing.
24 straight games the Bills have won the turnover battle.
Well, or been even or above, right? Because the NFL record, I think, for winning the battle is like 12. The Bills have been either equal or they have not lost it.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing is they don't turn it over, and they have found, even last week, it was only the one turnover, right? the Jets made it, and it was a big one. And Bosa made that play. That is so huge, to my point about don't give them anything. Don't do that. Where in that New England game, I think Josh had one of his turnovers last year, and then the Patriots went down and scored. I think the way the Bills play has become, I know they talk about all these numbers about turnovers. I think it's just in their DNA now.
Yep.
They play to take it away on defense, and they do such a good job on offense.
Yeah.
2 games in, they've been that team so far, and they either tie or win the turnover battle, which doesn't let bad teams stay in the game.
I feel like we've talked enough about the Dolphins. Obviously, this is the preview on Wednesday morning as we're recording this. I mean, the crazy stats of Josh versus the Dolphins. In his last 8 games, he's averaging 295 passing yards. He has 21 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and a 107 passer rating. Just owns the Dolphins. Like I know you can't get the odds of who's going to win Offensive Player of the Week, but it would be Josh. Like he would be like plus 200 amongst all the like a crazy low odd because it's just he's played him 15 times. I think he has it 7 or 8 of them have been against Miami. He's had 2+ passing touchdowns in 14 of his 15 career games. He's had 235 passing yards in 7 out of his last 8. He's had long passes. He's 15-2, and he's won 11 out of his last 14. No, 13 out of his last 14 because he lost the first game when Charles Clay. Yeah. And then they lost the game that was played on the surface of the sun.
And but they also won down in Miami when it took a lot for them to win. That was not a great Josh game. Yeah.
That was a crazy game where the Bills ended up winning the division.
Yeah.
Clinching a playoff spot.
So when the Dolphins have had, even when they've been good and had their chances, they have failed. But that was at a different level.
Yeah.
Now that, to Dan's, I think you had a ship analogy earlier. You were cooking there a little bit.
I was.
The ship is taking on
water.
Feel
good in this Connors and Ferris Buffalo Plus studio.
That Dolphins ship is taking on water. And I predicted at the beginning of the year, 4th place for them. I'm very confident in that. Yeah. I think that's where they're going to end up. But we'll see. We'll see what type of effort they give. I don't really worry about effort with the Bills.
Correct.
And I think the short week, they're used to it. And for some guys to get ready.
I like that. Don't overthink. And like, don't think like too much about period. But like, don't think too much about like, hey, like you won't have all week of reading how bad the Dolphins are. Like just keep your blinders on, stay focused. Go out there and do it.
They get to see Rasul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
he was asked about the Bills. He's like, well, they got an MVP and the guys do everything right.
It's a pretty good team.
What left unsaid was we don't. If you heard Tua, I ran the soundbite on the newscast. Tua was like, hey, Josh Allen, man. I mean, I can't run like him. And then he basically said, I can't throw like him. He's really good. Yeah. I'm like, oh, you mean those things that a quarterback's supposed to do? And Tua's a talented player, but I mean, it's, a lot of guys don't stack up.
All right. So Josh obviously had the hit to the face on Sunday against the Jets. Do you think I mean, he was talking about maybe going back to wearing like a clear visor. He wore a visor in college. Like, I loved his comment, what he said about,
he's the 3rd Bosa in the league now. Like unanimously, it is fun to hear the other players poke fun at the quarterback, like in a joking way. Spencer Brown was kind of like, it is bigger. He looks like a Bosa now. And then for Josh to lean into it, I thought that was good.
Yeah. But they're really making fun of Bosa.
But Joey Bosa knows his nose.
Yes, he does. But like, we're like, oh, they're picking on Josh. Josh's nose is temporary. Joe's, that's like the family thing, right? So you're like,
I saw his dad
pregame. It looks like
I saw his dad pregame. I know where he gets his nose.
Yeah. But it's just funny. It's like, oh, yeah, they're picking on Josh. No, they're really picking on. Now, it is cool to hear Bosa just gush about being with the Bills. I mean, the guy's been around the league. And I always try to say, like, well, it's not really about the Chargers. It's kind of like being around the Chargers. It's a very different vibe. But it must be really good between them because they feel confident and comfortable going like, Wow, Joe, you got a big nose. It's like Josh's. I mean,
He even said Bosa made some comment on Hard Knocks too.
About his nose.
Yeah, it was something about that.
I think
He's like, there's gonna be a lot of cutaways of this thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I think, I mean, he
I think
makes
it's pretty
millions
funny,
of dollars.
though.
I think he's cool with his
very
nose.
yeah.
But yeah, it was. I was curious how much of like black eyes he would have.
Same.
I was showing Jenny, my wife. Yeah, she goes, "Oh, he's gonna have a black eye." Like and you could sort of see.
Yeah,
it
was almost like I know that look well in terms of being tired. I don't want people to think like
You get hit in the face.
No, I don't want people.
Zach?
No. I mean, just dark circles because I'm tired.
High?
But not high, not high. But yeah, I think that will be kind of something to see on Thursday night of just like the visor, what he does, what the plan for that is, and how it all plays out.
And Josh said, he goes, it's a little warmer in there and the sound echoes, which you never think about. That he said, he goes, it's a little hotter in there. And then obviously like calling the plays and shouting everything out echoes in the helmet.
Yeah.
Did you think I was talking about his nose?
Not high. But I didn't think you were talking about. I was like, wow, that's kind of weird.
Out. Like we don't set these up.
I know. Being blonde is very intentional. That is really, really funny though. What's another guy though for you, Mike, that you think can maybe, I don't want to say step up, but how about this? We will do our Picasso player of the week as we're looking at this Bills Dolphins game. Is there a guy to you that you think, you know what? I think this is a moment for him to really have a big game other than Josh Allen.
Khalil Shakir.
Ooh.
I mean, Khalil's great, but it hasn't been a great start for him. I don't think it's anything in particular that he's doing. He has been such a target for Josh to get him the ball. Keon has gotten more attention. Josh Palmer a little bit more. They've run the ball well in the combined in the two games.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see it be for Shakir.
That's a really good one.
Do you have a Picasso's player of the week? Tailgate ready starts with Picasso's Buffalo's Pizza, delivered anywhere and everywhere. PicassoPizza.net.
I love a good Picasso's pizza slice. That is one of the go-to things, like on the way home after a Bills practice.
Yes.
Let's just go grab a slice. Very good pizza. Who else is very good? Christian Benford. So here's a guy. I literally beat you guys to it.
Literally.
Tua is a big first read guy. And so to be kind of shutting down that first read, I think changes everything. When Tua does get in a rhythm and he does kind of have throw on timing, if you can disrupt that. So I guess I'm looking at the corners, because if we are going to say worst case scenario, it's Tua gets in a rhythm and you still have Hill, you still have Waddle, all of those things. So I'm looking at the corners and maybe Christian specifically to kind of be that shutdown guy. I thought he looked okay the first 2 weeks. Thought Garrett Wilson got him a couple times, but looking at him to kind of be that guy, because they're still two of the best wide receiver. They're probably one of the better wide receiver duos in the NFL.
Didn't we just say that?
That's very wild for you to say that, considering you've been poo-pooing them all morning. Really walked into that one.
Well, maybe Benford should just go, well, these guys stink. I don't have to even guard Tyreek.
You guys are acting like I'm like coaching up the team this week. Like,
yeah, no pregame speeches for Dan.
Like we're in the studio.
I can see Josh in the huddle going, Dan says we're great this week, so just go out and have fun.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan says these guys stink, so let's do it on 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Dolphins stink.
Orange slices at the half.
Yeah. Who's your Picasso's player?
I think Greg Rousseau, for me, I think this is his spot, Dan. This is his spot, right?
Against Miami. He's from Miami.
Yeah.
No way.
It's happening.
Gino Fitz went to Harvard. He's going to be at the game.
Just saying. It's coming around. He's got half a sack. He's on his way.
I think Joey Bosa's had a lot of shine lately, and I think that Greg Rousseau is like, you know what, this is my turn. This is my time, and I think I could see him making a couple big plays for the Bills in this one.
Yes, it's happening. Greg's been great. It's
great.
Great.
He's been great.
Yes.
Because when I think about the defensive line, obviously the first person I think of so far this season has been Greg. It's definitely not Ed Oliver or Joey Bosa.
When you think of wide receiver, is Shakir the first guy you think of? Not this year so far. And
Actually, that's a good question. Who would you think of first?
Keon.
I would, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mad I didn't pick him.
See, this is where your argument's falling flat, Mike. You know where I'm going with this?
Go ahead.
The fact is that you said you needed Joey Bosa and Ed Oliver to step up to help Greg Rousseau. They've stepped up. And Greg really hasn't.
He's on pace for what? 8.5 sacks. He's going to get half every game.
So if somebody else gets there, Greg can fall on him.
Man.
That is.
Rousseau's a good player.
You're
It's coming.
fiery.
The numbers are coming.
Up.
That's really funny.
Sorry,
I was going to talk and I was like, I want to see Mike's reaction.
Just see him squirm in his chair a little bit.
It's so much easier to be quieter from this side.
I love that for
Yeah,
you.
that's
Wow,
been
look
good.
at that. All right, why don't we talk too about Josh Palmer, who's another guy that I think. Well, actually, you know what? Let's you know what time it is. All right, grab your crew, grab a pack, and grab Life by the Claw. This White Claw reminds you to grab Life by the Claw. We are here to bring you the grab of the week. And Mike, I think the grab of the week was pretty wild considering the circumstances. Josh Allen getting the bloody nose, leaving the game against the Jets. The grab of the week, Josh Palmer, but thrown by Mitch Trubisky.
Great. Mitch came in, third down, throws a dart.
Yeah.
First down. And it's like, Mitch is like, I got this. And Josh Palmer, who has made himself available the first 2 games, like he's made some plays. It's been under the radar there a little bit. I really do think, I said about Keon, but it's nice to see Palmer being involved back-to-back weeks. And that was kind of a cool play because you're distracted a little bit. Josh didn't help him out at all.
No.
Josh ran off the field. I know why he was doing that, but I give Mitch credit for that. So we'll have his contribution to the grab of the week.
Well, that's what was so funny. We were talking about what we're going to do for the White Claw grab of the week. And I was like, I think it's Mitch. And you guys kind of had to look at me, but I was like, they grabbed him off the bench.
Yeah,
like that's
true.
what it is. Like you go to the fridge, grab a White Claw.
Yeah.
They just grabbed Mitch.
Thursday night, I'm going to go mango. That would be my pick for
Oh.
flavor.
Is this post game or during the game?
Because you're going to be down on the field.
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
Yeah, you're shooting this game.
Post game.
I
Post
like
game.
post game.
Yeah.
Black cherry.
Please drink responsibly.
Yes, black cherry.
And
not on the field.
responsibly would be
After
we're
the
done
game.
work.
But I'm
Yes.
saying
Yes.
if I was a regular fan, if I was watching the game, I didn't have to be working, I would go mango. Like Thursday, primetime feels like mango spot for me.
All right. I like into that.
Yeah. Little
Yeah,
black
that-
cherry action
Black
too.
cherry.
Yeah,
That is funny. Mitch grabbed off the bench.
I thought that was
that was good.
that
Look
was
at you being creative.
Look at me.
We love
See,
that.
I am creative.
Okay. All right, let's do our picks for this game. So
Well, yeah, go ahead.
no, you were
Yeah,
really
we-
adamant there.
I just want Dan to go first.
Okay. Well, let me set this up.
Okay.
So in terms of the record standings, Dan and Mike are both 1-0 or 1-1, sorry. And then I am 2-0. So
I think
we're looking at the leaderboard.
I think we're 2-0.
No. No,
Yeah,
you're
We
not.
got a moral victory.
100%.
Those
Our
count in the
Ravens
NFL.
pick.
Yeah. I think it's funny.
Those count in the NFL.
Yeah, look at this game. I kind of said it already. I think the Bills are just a better team. They're playing better. Name it, they're better at it. Quarterback, coach, vibes around the team, goals, aspirations, and all of those things are in the different direction. I really don't see how the Bills don't blow them out in this one. I'll say Bills 40
Ooh.
and Dolphins 17.
Okay. I'm going to go Bills 33-10. I just think that they are the better team. They're playing at home. Yes, it's a short week, but Josh Allen has been automatic against Miami. I think for this Dolphins team, there's just no switch left to flip. Like, I just think that they are not playing well. There's not the culture around, and it's just not going to be, once they're down, that effort to really get back into this game. So for that, I have the Bills cruising to a win, 33-10, and they would be 3-0 in the season, and so would I.
Wow, it's always about you.
Seriously.
37-20 Bills. I think there'll be some garbage points by the Dolphins. The short week, like I said, sometimes can galvanize a team. It's not going to happen with the Dolphins. They're a mess right now, and I think it's going to get worse. And I really do believe if it goes this way, close to anything the three of us have said, I do believe they're going to fire Mike McDaniel after the game. It's national TV.
Mm.
They'll
And
give them
Bears,
some
yeah.
extra time, and they might as well go ahead and do it. So that's what I see for the game.
Here's
Okay.
a stat for you from Joe Osborne from Cover, the site. They do a lot of the gambling stuff. The Bills have gone over their team total in 10 out of their last 11 home games, where they've averaged 33.9 points per game. Buffalo has averaged an insane 37.3 points per game in their last 8 home games versus Miami's defense, who was just dominated by Daniel Jones and Drake May.
Wow.
40 burger incoming.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
What was your hot take on the Chiefs?
2 things about the Chiefs. So they're 0-2. And you're welcome, Bills fans, that the Eagles took care of them. Chris Jones, at the end of the game, look, Jalen Hurts didn't throw the ball and didn't throw it for well, but for Chris Jones to be across the line of scrimmage, this rivals their garbage time touchdown in the Super Bowl. He's saying to Hurts, you didn't even throw for 100 yards. And Hurts told him, shut the F up. We won the effing game. Chris Jones, who cares about the stats? The quarterback is literally taking victory formation to win the game. That is crazy for me that a champion, they've been in 3 straight Super Bowls, won 2 of them, is somewhat trying to talk trash to a guy who's taken a knee. And then secondly, I know it's just social media, but the Chiefs tweeted out, our defense held the Eagles to their 6th lowest output since
That's
2021. I mean, if you include
What?
that stat somewhere in a whole game story, that's fine. Your defense played well, but they are getting roasted.
Yeah.
And
Philly fans being mean?
no, it's just in general, NFL fans
Yeah.
are saying like, are you kidding me with
Yeah.
this? And I know they'll probably bounce back. I don't know if Dable and the Giants have anything. They showed a lot of life,
Yeah.
scored a bunch of points. I don't know if they'll do that against the Chiefs, but that's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out this week, because you would think the Chiefs come back, and they're only 0-2. So it's the beginning of the
Yeah.
year, but for Bills fans, it's good to see them 0-2 to start the year.
Do you think there's actually trouble in Kansas City, or do you think it was just tough opponents?
2 things can be true at the same time, Jenna.
I agree.
I do think they are still have a good team, can be very good, and Mahomes has made some plays, but their offense is stagnant. Now they are missing Worthy and Rashee Rice. So they're going to get those guys back, and then they're going to trade for Tyreek Hill. So their offense is going to be better, but it's not great for them right now.
Also, pretty tone deaf by the Chiefs, wearing free 4 shirts.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that.
That was pretty
That was
tone deaf.
pretty
Yeah.
shocking to me.
Yeah,
All right.
by that.
Real quick, just 1 point on the Chiefs for me. I just think it's exhausting. Like and hear me out. I think the run that they've had
Mhm.
has been incredible highs, some very low lows, but I just think, to me, they just seem like it's kind of, they're tired, which I know sounds silly. They're just coming off the off season, and I expect a bounce back effort this week for them against the Giants, but I just think that carries with you, in my
I agree.
opinion.
I think they used to talk about LeBron and all of like how many postseasons and how late he used to play into years in the Olympics. Like the wear and tear, and at times he just looked flat. Like, oh, what's wrong with LeBron? Now again, he won a title in LA and in the bubble, but it just seems like it's starting to wear all of the games, all of the highs and lows on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they used to talk about the losing team in the Super Bowl. It's hard to come back, but the Patriots did it, and
the
Chiefs have done it, come back. And so they're not dead and buried, but they are down, and the Chargers are 2-0. Surprisingly, the Broncos losing to the Colts was a tough loss for them. But I think the Chargers can hang in there. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah. All right. Credit to me. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. Credit to me, and it's credit to us as a sports department. So I got my PGA shirt on. We're in Rochester. We cover sports here in addition to just covering the Bills, and we broke a little story that the PGA Championship is coming back to Oak Hill Country Club. Now it's 2035, so
You'll be there.
We got some time.
Yeah, these two are going to be wheeling me around the course.
Oh my gosh! Don't you put that into the atmosphere?
But it's cool to have that story. By the time you
terrible.
see this, it's probably been officially announced. We're working on it. We got sources, not just Bill's sources.
It was very
so it
fun.
was kind of fun to have that because people in Rochester and all around the region. I mean, it's cool to have major golf championships.
Yeah.
And if they're coming to Western New York, they're coming to Oak Hill. So they've got the U.S. Amateur in 2027, the Women's U.S. Open in 2037, but they've got 2035, another PGA championship.
It was funny. All of this stuff was kind of happening late at night. And then Renee, when I got into bed at like midnight, she's like, what were you doing up so late? No big deal. Just breaking some major golf news.
There's no rush like breaking news.
It's so good.
It was great.
Yeah, it's
it was great.
And this was Mike and Dan doing this.
Yeah,
so
but it's our team. So
yes, but you guys did an excellent job.
I guess that segues into why you were busy and traveling. My credit to me is to Jenna.
Don't.
So Jenna was nominated for an Emmy for her Ray Davis story. That was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, you're sweet.
She did not win the Emmy Awards yesterday, went to New York City. But you did not win because the Bills had an amazing story with Josh Allen and the kids of Oshai Children's Hospital.
Yeah. Well, honestly, if I'm going to lose to anyone, Josh Allen and the children of Oshai, I'm okay with.
Tip of the cap.
Yeah.
But that doesn't take away from how incredible that story is, how great you are at your job. Lucky to call you a friend, a coworker, all of those things. You deserve an Emmy, all of that. But again, credit to you for one, putting yourself out there. You hate the attention to go out there, to get nominated, to be in the running with Yankees and Bills and all of that stuff. And we're a smaller market to be involved in that. I know it sucks that you did not win. I hope that someday you can appreciate the fact that you got to go to the Emmys and you didn't put it in your Twitter bio. So like that's the bigger credit to you.
Yes.
Is credit to Jenna for being nominated for an Emmy and not putting it in her social media bio.
I want to know, how are you going to break the news to Ray?
Ray
was very excited that you and Ray Davis were going to win an Emmy.
Yes, he was.
Now you did win awards for that.
Yes, I did.
From New York State Broadcasters, which is great. But.
Yeah. No, I wasn't planning on telling him. He doesn't need to know.
The awards are till later, Ray.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
He's like, when are we going to win our Emmy?
Yeah, like, I know.
Cool.
I know. Yeah. Well, and thank you to Ray, because I mean his backstory to get to the NFL is incredible. Thank you to you guys too, because Dan and Mike know that I sometimes don't love kind of not having to, but sometimes I get uncomfortable like.
Dan and I don't like having that either. We don't like it.
Never.
So.
Dan hates it. No, totally. But so actually what my credit to me was, and I don't even know if this is credit to Pixar. This is going to be crazy, but there's the movie Soul. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a Pixar movie. It's about talks about jazz. But I was pretty sad yesterday in New York. Zach and I went down to the city, and I did want to win. Like the competitor in me was like, I would love to win an Emmy. I mean, it's such an accomplishment, all those things. And so after I didn't win, I was like, dang it. Like I was sad. I, again, lost to an amazing story put on by the Buffalo Bills with Josh and Oshai children. And it was wonderful. And I fully understand why that story did win. But I was kind of upset because I was like, we came down here, our flight got delayed. It was, it was a very long morning. And then I was sitting on a park bench with Zach and we were just chatting. And then my friend sent me this reel from Pixar that was about the movie Soul. And the premise of the movie, or the piece that I saw is this main character is outside a jazz club and he's like, I've thought of this moment my whole life and it didn't feel like how I thought it would feel. And he's talking to another character, and the character was saying how there's this story about a fish in the water, and it goes up to an older fish and it says, I'm trying to find the ocean. And the older fish looks at it and is like, what? And the fish is like, I'm trying to find the ocean. And the older fish is like, you are in the ocean. And the younger fish is like, no, I'm just in the water. And so it was that moment of like, no, but you are in the moment. Like I didn't win.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you should have won.
It does not take away from it. And we always say this, we are an amazing sports team, and give credit to Catalana because he always said it. The big leagues is wherever you are or wherever you make it. And we've always kind of taken that as the pride of being in a smaller market like Rochester.
Yeah.
So
It was cool too
Yeah.
that you got to take the company jet down and back.
yeah.
We use the company jet. We
Yeah.
call it JetBlue.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you guys
yeah.
are aware that that's
Yeah.
the name
Yes,
of
yeah.
The Buffalo
Like,
Plus
Yes.
jet.
Buffalo Plus jet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Buffalo Plus PJ was actually in the shop, so
yeah,
that's why.
that's true.
But take
Yes.
the three.
Brian was
take
busy.
the 3 shot. Take the 3 shot. But that being said, it was so cool. I have more that I want to accomplish and all that stuff, but just getting the day to be in that environment
So cool.
Cool.
was
for
so
you.
cool. And then Zach and I went to a great dinner. I got to
Nice.
tell you, I'm like a drug sniffing dog when it comes to finding a good restaurant. We
Yes.
found an amazing restaurant.
Nice.
So it was a wonderful day and a great reminder of like, maybe the moment didn't feel how you thought it would feel, but there's still so much to enjoy about it regardless.
Emmy nominated. Got to go to the Emmy Awards. Awesome. Hall of Famer. Hot takes. I have also actually been nominated for
I
an
was
Emmy.
gonna say yes. Dan has
Yeah.
been
I wasn't going to
nominated
make
for.
this about me.
No, but you.
But
you
I have been
have.
nominated for an Emmy as well.
Yes, I was gonna say yes. You have as well.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
I
was during
should have.
COVID. I had to sit in a Zoom call for 2.5 hours not to win mine about a softball, old man softball team. That
Oh
was
my
what I
God.
lost to.
You know what? I should have known when Mike doesn't have an Emmy. I should have known then that
Yeah.
it's impossible.
Yes. I've never been nominated for one.
Well, you've never put up a
Oh,
story
well,
for
yeah.
one. There's a difference.
Kinda. I'm in on one, but it's our legendary anchor Don
Yes.
Alhart.
Does he
I
win?
hosted the show.
It's
coming
it's
up
next month.
Oh, that's right.
where it's his goodbye show. I think we'll give the credit to Don on that one.
Yeah,
since
that's
it's about
fair.
his 58-year career.
Crazy.
So it'd be great to see Don. I'd love to see him win that.
Okay, yes. So
Okay.
I wasn't expecting to cry this morning, but
All right.
Credit to you.
Let's go because we're going to play golf.
yeah, that's true. All right. I love you guys also. I love you all as well.
Yes.
Do that again, Mike.
Wait. I've always wanted to try this. Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
We did that.
Ah!
Flip the mug.
We have to fix that. That doesn't
Flip-
work well.
Flip the mug.
That works well.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Connors and Ferris beautiful podcast studio. For Mike Catalana and Dan Fates.
Thursday recap, which will be out Friday
Morning. Yes. Bills play hosting the Dolphins tomorrow, Thursday, prime time. We'll have, like Dan said, the post-game video out on Friday morning. Also, if you have not checked it out, Mike's interview with Will Manso is awesome. I highly, highly recommend.
And Lincoln Hill Farms in Canandaigua will be there next Thursday.
Yes.
And then we have an appearance coming up at Riverworks in Buffalo.
Yes.
That's coming up.
White Claw.
Yes. Sponsored by White Claw. So we'll have that coming up.
Yeah, the Lincoln Hill Farms, the one coming up, very exciting. It's going to
Yeah.
be a cool atmosphere as well. So please be sure to check that out if you have the availability. We would love to meet, greet, all that fun stuff, talk Bills. So for Mike Catalana and Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We will catch you next time on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel.
Now, from the Connors and Ferris Podcast Studio, this is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.